So CERN is located in the middle of a very remote area, so there's only nature around it. In itself, it's a building made of white plastics and transparent polymers, meaning basically what you would perceive as glass. Everything is super high-tech. Really, this place seems like the pinnacle of human scientific achievement. So imagine a little bit like walking on the Citadel in Mass Effect. Right. Lastbilen, det pansrade lastbilen kör mot liksom leveransområdet och det finns armade vakter. Det finns personal i såna här kliniska dräkter eller vad man ska säga. They're super clean, like they have the suit like
Space
all
suit.
over the. Sorry.
Hazmat suit.
Like a spacesuit.
Well, yeah. Besides the fact that they still have only breathing masks and like the eyes on with goggles, so it's not actually completely vacuum packed, but it's very sort of like okay, there's no dust supposed to be anywhere in the area. You're there overseeing this, and you guys walk through the clinically clean white corridors with the luminescent roofs, no shadows cast everywhere. And people are very excited. People are like, yeah, I mean, this is super awesome. Like the quantum processor, I can't believe it's so close. I could grab it and take it and like rub it into my. I mean, it's awesome. Yeah. So people are very, very excited. It's a big day. You take the elevator to the supercomputer level, and people. I mean, the head engineers. As soon as you bring it into the processor, the CPU hall, the head engineers are starting to install it, like prepare it into the tray, and they connect it. You guys usually wouldn't be these many people in the room, but everybody's super excited. Once the head engineer is like just about to slide in the quantum CPU, he goes like, "Well, if the world implodes or something, it was a pleasure working with you all." And people are like, "Ha ha ha! How could that happen?" And he slides it in and turns the power back on, and a quiet hum of the cooling equipment starts filling your ears. Everything seems to have worked. So there's cheering, like woo, and people are like, all right, let's go back to the control room and see how the performance is. So the whole group leaves. They drag you along. It's like, come on, we need you to monitor like the airflow. And there's actually a little bit of a celebration in the control room. You're sitting in, imagine, a little bit like a NASA control room. Like everybody has their own desk. There's a main area, a little elevated where like the chief engineers will sit. And there's actually cake and there's champagne. It seems like the quantum processor has basically tenfolded your ability to gather from information from measuring equipment, which is way beyond their expectations. So everybody's very cheerful and very occupied with how great everything has been going.
Okay, so I need to cut power ever so for just a tiny moment to be able to slide this out without frying or destroying the equipment.
I don't know if your character would.
Well, if he needs to turn it off and then put it in and turn it on again, I'm assuming that just yanking it out might not be the best of ideas. That's okay, we can work with that. So since I was supposed to monitor airflow, I take it?
Yeah, it's for the cooling of the CPUs. Most of them are still on air, since it's super cool.
I would like to see if I can program in a timer to have it reboot. So it turns off for a few seconds and then reboots. and then have like energy cut to this part.
Let's see. I'm gonna look at. I mean, that's. I would say that knowing a little bit about computers, that's a standard task. I and Lowell would both be able to do that. But
Show offs.
I'm trying to find your character sheet right now.
I'm trained into breaking into computers, but not necessarily using them or like writing program.
Just a second. You're trained into breaking into computers?
Yes, it comes with working undercover.
Huh.
Also cryptography.
Dude.
Ooh.
Lies and persuading, cryptography, breaking into computers. Well, dang it, this is appropriate. You're gonna, break into this computer and steal its part. So I'm gonna allow you to use your train.
Yep.
So that difficulty is 1.
Well, you type in 2.
Difficulty
and
2.
And when you press on the one besides the breaking into computer, which it should be trained. So.
And you're gonna get 6. I was gonna say zeros for this, but that makes no sense. I mean, a million figure. So maybe putting a little effort.
I'm going to put in some effort.
Yeah.
But let's see. I have. So if I press this, and the cost is 2 because I have 1 in intelligence edge. Excellent. And then I can see if I press.
So you rolled a 19, so you get some kind of minor effect. So it
Cool.
goes very well. I mean, if you look at the background, it's examples for fighty stuff.
I have a great idea for a minor effect.
Hmm?
Whilst you're hacking, once you're writing this little script to reboot the processor for the timer, you notice that one of the filters, not related to this issue, is blocked, air filter. So there's actually a little alarm lamp going off. That's perfect cover for getting out of your seat and going into the CPU hall.
Excellent. Well, after I write my little program, I tap the shoulder of my supervisor, who's probably eating cake or and like quietly point this out, sir. There's a slight obstruction in air filter 27C. I want to go and change it to have optimal performance now for the computer.
Oh, what a crappy day to get on such a banal alarm. Yes, well, we want optimal efficiency. Go fix it. But we have champagne coming soon, so.
And sir, I might need to like restart the system just to get everything.
Yes. I mean, obviously, they haven't started with the test yet.
Thank you, sir. I scurry off to get a replacement part, or the like new filter, or if you're just supposed to clean it.
Well, you don't know what's wrong with it yet, but I can break a spare filter. Sure.
Yeah. I'm guessing that'll just be the simplest thing, just replacing the entire filter. I get my dummy processor, and I see, what the heck do I hide this in?
Briefcase?
Yeah, briefcase sounds good.
Or maybe the whatever tools case you have with the replacement parts.
Yeah, toolbox.
It's the size of a pocketbook.
Yeah. Size of one of these.
I didn't see what that was.
You didn't hold
Hard
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I pack that down. Head down to the server.
Yeah, everybody's still in the main room and just like partying. Down here there's no guards, because if anybody has gotten this deep into the facility, well, we're fucked. So yeah, you use your key card.
Screw, I was thinking to say key card, but screw key cards, but sure, okay.
You use your key card to access the processor room, and since you're a technician that's working on maintaining it, no issues. This heist has been really well prepared in advance. You approach. Okay, I can give you an XP. Extreme intrusion. If there's cameras in this room.
Sure.
you can't actually stop it because you have to pay an XP to say no to a GM intrusion. And since we have no XP,
well, I mean,
there's cameras in this room.
Yeah. No, but I'm willing to be like, I offer you an intrusion and you can take it or leave it, because this is not something I want to force on you. But yeah, okay, there's cameras in this room.
So Adam, in case you forgot, you give him 1 XP and then he gives an XP to someone else too.
Exactly.
Well, I'll give one to Sol, because something tells me I might need his help to, like, not put those pictures on the every wanted poster ever.
Zol.
Yes.
Så för ungefär en månad sedan så märkte du din Ark-nemesis, Torsten,
Ja.
du jobbar på CERN. Du vet, du kom till jobbet och så bara sa yeah, right in the middle of your fucking security feed there's Torsten, apparently masquerading as a engineer. And you know this guy, he's a fucking crook, he's a scam artist. So you run, I'm assuming you would directly report him to your supervisor.
Nej, jag skulle nog först försöka ta reda på vad han gör där.
Okay.
Be on my workstation, like, plunk, I see you. Fuck.
Så, ge mig ett roll in hacking.
Oh, 17. Plus 1 damage.
Ja, men det går bra.
Så difficulty 2 minus 1 i train. Okej, nej men det gick bra. Ja, så du följer, alltså du får all information du vill ha. Han blev tydligen nyanställd och jobbar som assistent på ingenjörsteamet som maintainer av servicehallarna. Så ja, du observerar honom under den månaden som han är där och liksom, han gör inget skumt. Alltså han är bara där liksom. Obviously this is just a ruse.
Har han sett att jag också jobbar där?
Nej, det har han. Men jag antar att, alltså, om du inte vill bara anmäla honom för att han är han, så har du inte så mycket att gå på just nu för att liksom göra någonting.
Nej, jag känner att jag...
Want to catch me red-handed, eh?
Ja, alltså jag har inget bevis mot honom och jag kan ju inte bara säga att han är en dålig person. Utan jag måste ha någonting att komma med för att, om jag vill rapportera honom. Och jag försöker väl hålla koll på liksom så här, se om jag hittar att han gör något fuffens.
Du gör en bot som automatiskt notifierar dig av alla hans nätverksvilliga handlingar.
Ja.
So you basically have a spy bot.
Ja.
Not on his keycard. Shoot.
Yeah, this is what's gonna happen. So en månad har gått sen
Jag sätter upp för övrigt. Jobbar han på ett ställe eller är det överallt?
Nej, han jobbar på ett ställe. Han jobbar som en ingenjörsassistent.
Jobbar han vid en dator?
Ja.
Okej, i så fall installerar jag en keylogger på den.
Ja, absolut. Alltså, han verkar vara en legitim anställd. Så vitt vet så har han vänt om sitt liv och blivit liksom ordentlig. Inte för att tro på det, för att han har alltså även om det är CERN så är han i princip motsvarande till städare. Även om han städar liksom världens bästa processorer och deras liksom luftkylningssystem. It's still just not a glamorous job. Den senaste månaden sedan Torsten blev anställd så har du haft det riktigt jobbigt. Den här chefen har verkat ha utfört dig som en någon sorts personlig liksom syndabock. Alltså går någonting fel så är det ditt fel. Alltså är han sur på någonting så är det ditt fel. Så vill han bara randomly gå ut och skrika och göra någonting så är det du som får ta skiten. Du har aldrig varit så frustrerad på jobbet som du har varit den senaste månaden. Alltså, dina tankar om att säga upp dig, det var liksom bara ökt och det är upp till dig, men liksom det är helvete liksom. Du får bilda sådana här problem som bara inte borde finnas på en seriös arbetsplats.
Och det är inte alls kopplat till att jag började jobba där typ dagen innan han började. I promise.
Precis när du sitter och grubblar över detta på den här dagen då den här processorn blir installerad, så blippar din spybot att Torsten har precis gått in i processorhallen. Du kollar snabbt på skärmen och sen så får du se vad Torsten gör där inne, så länge inte han på något sätt fifflar med kamerorna.
Nej, alltså alltså strömmen kommer ju ändå liksom reboota. Nu misstänker jag väl att liksom, övervakningskamerorna inte är kopplade till det.
Nej, de har ju ett eget system.
Men å andra sidan, om jag liksom inte går in och... Ja, nej, I would probably... Hur ser det ut? Är det typ det som en lång korridor och jag antar att det är kameror från båda ändarna, eller är det bara på en ände? Hur...
Tänk mer som ett lagerlokal. Det finns en kamera precis ovanför. Det finns en ingångsdörr. Det är mycket ljus det finns ju lampor i taket, men mycket av ljuset som kommer här är monterad i de här servrar, the racks, vad de kallas på engelska. Så det är mycket blått ljus i det rummet. Så det finns ju en kamera precis ovanför dörren och så finns det 2 kameror, en i varsitt hörn på andra sidan av rummet. Så de ser till så att de ser verkligen, alltså varje människa som går in och kommer, och de har bra koll på de flesta rader medan serverhyllorna.
Då är det fullständigt omöjligt för mig egentligen att liksom ta ut samtliga kameror utan att de ser mig.
Inte om du gör det med, alltså, genom att koppla ut sladdarna av dem. Då hade du behövt liksom...
Jo, men jag menar, jag måste ju fortfarande... Om de 2 sitter på andra sidan rummet så jag kan liksom inte bygga runt dem. Så du menar att jag måste...
Det är möjligt. Alltså, om du är duktig på att smyga så kan du ju tracka deras movement och försöka hoppa mellan hyllorna. Men du har en limited amount of time för att din timer för nedbrytningen. Du kan prova.
Oh, I am trained in stealth. So I will try that. Liksom den första som kommer in, jag tar väl och... För att inte något larm ska gå att kameran inte funkar. Så antingen så typ sprayar jag med svart färg eller liksom bara sätter någon tejp över liksom själva kameran.
En bit genomskinlig tejp hade funkat för att de så studerar att man kan inte urskilja vem det kom in ändå.
Någonting sånt. Och sen så smyger jag runt och sätter det på de andra också.
Okej, då kommer jag kräva att du rullar någonting.
Yes, well, let's see how well this goes. Success!
Nice roll! Right, so Torsten starts seeking around the server racks. He knows exactly, like, the only one opportunity he has to enter the room, and then just quickly jump into between the shelves, and waits for the right moment to jump to another shelf. There's a server missing in one of them, so he can actually crawl from another to another. And you know, in just a nick of time, you put tape on all of the cameras. Raphael sees this, like, okay, he got an alarm that Torsten entered the server room, and then one after one, the cameras start going all blurry. Torsten då springer fram till den här quantum-processorn, and just then the power goes off. You remove the security, you release the security like handles, pull out the thing, and connect in your fake one. Just as you touch the quantum processor, you get a jolt of energy. Some yellow lightning just like hit your finger, your hand. And there's another thing that you notice. Once you pulled out the processor, it's unbelievable. I mean, you can't understand what happened because you pulled it out, put it in your bag, take out the other one, and you're putting in the fake, only that the slot is taken. There's a processor in the slot that you just pulled out.
I look at like where the quantum processor is supposed to be in my bag. Is it there?
There's a quantum processor in your bag. Actually, there's a little worrying thing though. There's a couple of LED lamps that indicate function on the processor in your bag that are blinking, showing activity.
The fuck do you mean it's working now? It's not supposed to be working now. I tried to pull out the one who's there in this supposedly empty slot.
Okay, you reach out and grab for the other processor.
Yeah.
Something like that happens.
I know where that comes from.
You can't touch it. Your hand goes straight through it. And you hear that sound, which startles the fuck out of you.
Okay!
You don't
Well, I don't have time to do this, so
We're gonna break what you've seen for a moment, and we're gonna jump to. By the way, your escape route. You've been monitoring them, and you know that they're here. Rafael, så Zols karaktär.
Yes.
Du observerade detta, du fick ju då larm från att Torsten är då ensam antagligen, eller hans kod användes för att komma in i datorprocessorrummet. Sen så märker du att kamerorna stängs en efter en.
Okay.
it would probably not be admissible as evidence.
No, it's... Alltså, tänk att det är typ -5 styrka på glasögon för att säga detta.
Okej. Det var ju konstigt. Och det verkar inte vara liksom så här slumpen att alla tre blir suddiga på en gång. Så min första tanke är väl att okej, har det blivit jättedimmigt i serverrummet? Är det rök eller vad är det som pågår?
Ja,
Så
du har ju en tillgång till fler sensorer än vad du bodde på CERN eftersom du har tagit dig tiden att få den, även om du inte borde. Du kan säga att i det rummet så finns det en varningslampa för att en filter har gått sönder. Men det är inte någonting som har att göra med dagens event, så det verkar inte vara så viktigt. Annars så verkar alla mätningarna inom normen.
Okej. Då... jag frågar vad heter relevant person om liksom, är det något som pågår inne i serverrummet? Varför är kamerorna liksom, om jag nu har, om jag ska ha tillgång till kamerorna och det är okej, då vill jag ta reda på varför de är suddiga utan att behöva gå dit själv. För jag är lat.
Okej, så här ser det ut. Tyvärr är relevanta personen han som du hatar. Han som gjorde livet svårt.
Ja, då vill jag inte prata med honom.
Nej, okej. Vill du prata med det? Då måste du resa dig i alla fall från stolen och gå ifrån.
Ja, vad heter det? Jag går väl dit själv och kollar.
Till det rummet?
Ja, om det inte är långt. Och det är lämpligt.
Det är dit, men alltså du tar dig i hissen och så är du precis där.
Don't worry, we have moving walkways.
Du borde inte gå dit, men du kan. För att du har tagit dig tiden att få det fixat.
Jaha, okej. Alltså, så jag har inte officiellt rättigheter att gå in dit?
Nej, det är...
Okej, ja, men då... Vad heter det? Då låter jag det vara.
Can't be bothered.
Okay, so as you're watching on the security camera, you notice some sort of spark, I mean a flash in that room. First the electricity goes down, which is startling enough, and then just like a second afterwards where you're trying to figure out your next move, there's a spark of electricity, and for whatever reason, that spark seems to translate to your workstation. You get a jolt of yellow lightning that makes your fingers tingle like a lot, and after that the electricity seems to be on back in the room. So who wants to go next? We're leaving Raphael for now, and we'll take one of the other characters.
I can go next.
Sure.
If it works for you.
Absolutely. So you arrive at your work in the morning, and you're greeted by Doctor. What was his name?
Richard?
Yeah.
Richard Tateson?
Oh, Tateson, by Dr. Tateson. He grabs you from probably like a omklädningsrum or something. He's like, "Oh, Margaret, it's excellent that you're here. You remember, of course, that today is the day.
Well, yes, of course.
So great. Please walk and talk with me." So he starts rushing through the corridors of CERN to where the particle accelerator control room is. So the process has already arrived. They've been really great with security. It's already loaded, and they're just working on installing it. It's going to be excellent. We've prepared everything. I just really need you in the control room to overwatch all the engineers' measurements of this. But of course, we all want you to be there to witness. I mean, come on, we might actually be able to fully measure an anti-hydrogen atom. I know you know exactly what this means, but I've been working my whole life towards this.
I'll happily be in the control room. They have cake.
Yes, there's going to be cake. It is not a lie. So he speeds off, taking you to the control room. There's a lot of people there. Your friend, her name was
Anna.
Your friend Anna is there as well. She's actually working on one of the terminals, and she gives you a smile and a nod. And it's a stressful day. There's a lot of things. Everybody wants to make sure that everything is just right. This might be the best opportunity you've had to make real progress for the human race. So everybody's double checking, are all the measuring equipment properly calibrated? Is all the mathematical equations, correctly typed in? Because obviously, as far as we know, they're not wrong, but either proper. Is everything good? It's like everything seems to be right. The people haven't cleaned their desks. There's already champagne in the fridge. There's cake. And once you get the green light from the engineers, it's time to start with the test.
Cool. For some reason, I felt like safety goggles, but there's no really reason for it.
You're sitting in a room that has a glass window forwards a bit of the particle accelerator tunnel. You can't see anything. The tunnels are safe to walk, but basically you're not very far away from where the particle leaves the circle. It's going to hit the target at speeds which we basically can't imagine.
iPhone.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, well, I do what I'm supposed to do. Like, probably have a clipboard where I also just double checks people's things and chat with my friend, have a piece of cake.
So the first test is commencing, and it goes off without a glitch. The negative hydrogen is created, and everybody's screen just lights up. It's like new information just starts flowing. Numbers start filling their screens, and it's just beyond people's greatest expectations. There's tenfold the amount of data which you were able to gather for. With this information, you're not only will be able to discover more negative matter, but also probably manage to stabilize it and have it permanently exist in our plane of existence. So there's a lot of cheering. The cake is brought up, the champagne is brought up, and everybody's invited to the back room to celebrate, and the data keeps processing. But you notice that there's a guy that didn't join the. You're always the girl that's a little bit on the outside of the circle. So you also perceive your surroundings a little bit better thanks to that, because you're not in the middle of the celebrations. You notice that there's actually one guy, a bald man, still at his workstation. He's frantically typing things into his terminal. You don't really recognize him from before.
Well, I would sort of assume that since people overlook me all the time, I don't think it's that horrible if I would overlook someone, but I probably would approach and check what he's doing.
He's using a piece of software. You just approach, you walk into the room and you look at his terminal, and he's using a piece of software you're not familiar with. You don't know what it does. He's using even the language on it It reminds you of Chinese, but it's not. You know enough about Chinese signs and you've watched enough anime to know that that's no Asian language. These letters look like hieroglyphs or something. You know, the best reference you have right now is that old movie you wanted to watch when you were a teenager called Predator. They had these weird symbols that were meant to be math, but you know, don't they make any sense?
Against better judgment, I probably go like, "Are you supposed to be here, sir? Does he have a lab coat?"
He has a lab coat.
Yeah, so do I.
He doesn't turn around, but he freezes a little bit, lifts his hand from the keyboard, and then just hits enter. Then he pulls up one of his sleeves on his lab coat, and he has a small, maybe like a wristband with a lot of electronics attached to it. He presses a button on it and disappears.
I think I freak out a bit.
Yes, probably.
I like look around, going like, "Please tell me there was someone else in this room that also saw this."
No, you're alone. Nobody else saw it. Okay, that bit. Michael, Mr. Volkov. Are you prepared?
Yes, indeed.
Alright. So the bus, your whole group basically take their own the bus for themselves. And there's enough buses for everybody else. And yeah, I mean, you're enough to fill it. So you arrive after 2 hours of a drive at the CERN Visitor Center. I already described you the structure, but it's worth reminding, you know, that there's a huge circle where the particle acceleration actually goes on, and then there's a structure attached to the bit where they hit the target. That includes, you know, all the scientists, all the measuring equipment, and also there's a little visitor center. There's actually a lot of areas which you're being admitted to, you know, exploring this white, futuristic building. Your group is assigned a tour guide, a nice Asian-looking lady who has a very white smile, as the glasses, and is very welcoming, obviously used to engaging audiences and presentations. She's very like, "Hello and welcome to CERN. This is a special day, so I'm very happy that you can be here with us today." Now, does anybody know what CERN actually is and what it stands for? Now, I actually don't know what CERN stands for.
But it is an acronym.
Yeah, it is an acronym. What is this?
Particle accelerator? I probably look a bit like...
I think it's just in a different language.
Council Européen pour la Recherche Nucléaire.
Exactly. It's the European Organization for Nuclear Research. Not exactly, but you're right about one thing. The particle accelerator is mainly used in researching. Well, we moved away from nuclear research and mostly do research into antimatter and quantum physics, which are very tied closely to the building stones of the universe. So essentially, we're trying to figure out what makes everything tick. The tour progresses as you would expect. You get taken, you know, from the there's a short movie presentation. There's a lot of models of the area of the particle accelerator. You actually get to be inside of the accelerator itself. It's perfectly safe. So they just take you in there, and this like a little bit underwhelming. You sort of imagine this like Death Star like beam and like lights and effects, but it's like a maintenance tunnel. There are just these cables going along the walls, and people in boring like lab coats and clean suits. So you can't shake the feeling that, you know, it's not as science fiction and not as fantastic as you would have hoped. It's a little bit more like gritty and dirty, even it is like a super futuristic building.
So is it noticeable that people are like super giddy and like holy shit, it's gonna happen?
Sugar rush.
Not that much actually. I mean, there's you notice that the cafeteria is empty around lunch, which was like explained to you by the tour guide. Like, well, usually we would have to fight for seats here, but most of the scientists are testing a new piece of equipment that they're very excited about. But you can't really actually notice in the common areas that there's so much going on. Until in the middle of the tour, of course, this happens. Your group hears that sound.
So it's not only me that hears it.
No, everybody hears it.
Okay, I look towards, I look like up above to try and find the speakers.
There's no speakers, but everybody goes like, people scream a little, and they like duck. The Americans duck. And,
This is not a drill. Evacuate the premises immediately.
Ladies and gentlemen, there seems to have been some sort of an event. I think we should directly proceed to the exit. It's just this way. Please follow me.
Finns det någon form av säkerhetsprotokoll för hur de anställda ska agera utifrån?
Detta har ni ju allihopa, och detta är direkt efter det som vi har berättat individuellt.
I stay close to Alex and I start moving towards.
How does the screen look on the computer that the teleporting man was at? Is there still something on that's like mysterious that I can like just take a quick picture on my iPhone with before I run out of the building? Yeah. Okay.
You can do that.
Then I will do that, because I'm a researcher. It's like, oh wait, I have at least 30 seconds before the digital blows up.
Yeah, so the protocols for, you don't know what's going on exactly, but the protocols for the employees are pretty much like a fire drill. Proceed to your closest exit and then
This is not a drill.
at the
Evacuate the premises
gathering point.
immediately.
Be prepared to be counted.
Yes, exactly.
Übung, evakuieren Sie die Räumlichkeiten sofort.
So I try to ask the tour guide if she has any clue what this would be.
Oh, I'm assuming the new piece of, you're all sort of marching towards the exit, and you notice that, the other doors, this huge hallway you're in, or not hallway, but like a lounge, what's it called? An atrium, I suppose, are opening, and people are like pouring out of this slowly. And while she's marching with, like, very sort of indicative that you should still continue along, she just like turns around to you, it's like, oh, they were testing this new piece of equipment, so I'm assuming it just malfunctioned. So it's probably a minor fire, but I mean, we take security very seriously.
This is not a drill. Evacuate the premises immediately.
We don't accept the possibly that anything would happen to our honored guests or our employees. Better safe than sorry.
I assume that when actually you get out so you can see other research people, those people actually have like champagne glass still in their hand because they went like, I'm not putting this down.
Yeah. Like
probably some other people have cake.
And a little bit like serpentin, liksom runt axlarna.
This is not a drill. Evacuate the premises immediately.
So you continue to the main exit, which is a huge, like indoor plaza with a walled-in door. And you're one of the first one to arrive, and I should really have better. As Volkov is closing into the exit, unfortunately,
this is not a drill. Evacuate.
A yellow bolt of lightning just like tears the ground in front of them, creating a black hole on the ground with yellow glowing edges, seeming like there's a sandstorm coming from them. Like basically they're evaporating. A couple of people that this happens right exactly sort of like don't manage to break properly and fall into this wall of yellow light with the blackness behind it and vanish, completely disintegrate without a trace. You can still see above this rift of blackness and yellow light to the other side where the exit is. But as it is right now, there's no way to access it.
I go, holy, what the fuck? I try to like,
scream, and panic, and just turn around and bolt in the other direction.
I try to make sure that my friends, and especially Alex, are okay, and try to head back in towards areas that are less, I don't know, dangerous.
So this lady that was leading you, just completely panics, like falls over on the ground and just like starts in panic trying to slide away from the rift that opened.
She tosses other people from her side.
I try to like pull her up and hurt people in front of me, like away from me.
Yeah. Nobody from your group is hurt. Alex is also like, what the fuck is that? And you all sort of start moving away from it. And somebody in your group goes like, wait, where's the nearest emergency exit? And the panicked lady goes like, there's a diagram on that wall. We need to check the diagram for the other emergency exits.
I look at her like, you don't know? And then I, push people towards us so we can look.
Yeah. So, Thorsten, you start hearing the alarm. And, you hear the alarm just after the last thing we talked about.
Yeah.
And you're sort of thinking, oh, maybe that's something that your group has prepared, so it's even easier to evacuate.
But I think, how rude. Why didn't they tell me? This is such amateurs.
But anyway, it is the perfect situation to just vault.
Yeah. That it is. Så packa ner lägget. Head towards the exit.
Alright, so elevators of course aren't working because this is an emergency. But everybody you're introducing is also being like, well, I need to take the picture of my kid and then we're going, right? We'll take the emergency stairs. And so people are taking stuff with personal affairs. You reach the emergency stairs, and a thing has been bothering you underneath your suit. I mean, you kept scratching your hand, the one that got electrocuted. You think you've actually it hurts now. You might have actually torn up the flesh by scratching on it. You don't know what's happening because you're still in the suit.
Wow. I can just take off the gloves, I guess.
Yeah. So you take off the glove, and that's a disturbing sight. I mean, you're not bleeding, but you can see right through your hand. It's semi-transparent. It has this little eerie yellow glow to it, and no matter what you do, it's sort of not entirely really there.
Okay, in a state of in a state of panic, I probably put the glove back on and pull it off again. Like Jerome gör rätt.
Tar du av handsken igen alltså?
Vad sa du?
Tar du av den igen eller?
Yeah, alltså I'm guessing I'm panicking ever so slightly in my mind right now. This is not supposed to happen. Put it on. Okay, it's right there. I can see the glove. Put it off. Fuck!
The hand is gone now.
Completely?
Yeah.
Do I still feel it?
Yeah, you can go like this, and you feel your fingers, and you can touch it with your other hand, and you can feel it on both ends, but you can't see your hand.
I put on the glove again.
It's fine.
Oh, I would have tossed that glove.
People are you just sort of stand in one of the alcoves at the emergencies there, and people are sort of walking up, not really paying attention.
I'm gonna have to figure this out later, so I'm gonna keep going towards the exit.
Absolutely. Okay, back to Raphael. So the alarm started sounding, and people are basically like, oh, I'm gonna be off for at least half a day. Fire drill.
I run my emergency script that will remove all traces of things I have done that I shouldn't have done, because there will most likely be a very heavy auditing afterwards. So I will run that script, and then I guess I will head for the exit.
Absolutely. Du exekverar din hemliga kommando där i kommandprompten, bekräftar med lösenord. 128 bitars krypteringsförlust. Fine. Enter, and it's starting to work, You're not the sort of programmer that would have not tested this, so it just goes on flawlessly, and every trace of you ever manipulating the system is slowly disappearing into nothingness. Then you just go to the emergency stairs and start living with everybody else. Margaret, in your room, people got very startled by the alert. They're like rushing back into the command center and it's like, what happened? I mean, did you do something?
I've done nothing.
What's going on? Was it the particle accelerator? Is it the new processor? Did it overheat?
Why are you asking me?
You were in the room. Back to your stations, everybody. So people are like just attacking the consoles, completely ignoring that this is like you're supposed to run.
Well, so did I. I took pictures on the screen.
Yeah. Reports are starting to flow in. Like the processor isn't overheating; it's working fine. There's actually a lot of data coming in. The particle accelerator is fine. There's nothing obvious, and then people start looking at the data. The data's wrong. This can't happen according to the laws of physics as we know them. You hear the second blare that went off at some point. And okay, so maybe we should talk about what that sound is. There's one guy that just like rushes into the office and says like, guys, I think you should switch the camera to external view. They put it on the big screen. This is the camera from the top of the building that's just filming the particle acceleration sort of building from outside, just sort of like to put it on the webcam. There's a thing. Sorry?
Rift?
There's a thing. There's definitely a thing in the middle. It looks like a yellow and black ball. Imagine like you're looking down a drain where a lot of water is being pulled in.
And this is in front of the...
This is in the center of the particle accelerator.
Oh, okay.
With the second flare, a crack comes, as if the ground opened from that forwards to the main building. It doesn't open as if the ground opens and things are visible in it. It's just blackness with glowing yellow edges.
Ah, crap.
I think we broke reality, sir.
I think we might want to turn it off, sir.
Alright, shut everything down. Any system possible. Just like disconnect electricity. Shut it down! You know.
Big red button.
Exactly.
Oh, this is not working.
People start shutting everything down. You lose the camera feed. And you lose your eyes on this event. So since everything's being shut down, it's basically the time to leg it. Now I'm gonna sync with the four of you a little bit, because what all of you is feeling is a sudden quake to the ground. The alarm system sort of garbles a little bit and then dies. And what happens later is, what you're assuming is that the ground shifts. You feel like what surface you're standing on is lifting. You're starting to slide, very so slightly, off the floor. And it's getting worse, it's getting progressively worse, as you all work your way to the nearest exits. You can clearly see that people are starting to walk skewed, more and more skewed, until people trip and fall on the walls. People fall from doors onto the walls on the opposite side. And then they start falling, something's very clearly pulling you towards the middle of the particle accelerator.
So gravity has gone
Sideways?
Sideways indeed. You catch a glimpse through the windows. There's a huge rift or black hole in the middle of the particle accelerators. Building parts. Earth is just pouring down it in a constant stream. all the bushes, all the wildlife that was inside of the particle accelerator is falling from every direction towards this point. Parts of the buildings are falling off, and the grass breaks. You're falling. You're sliding with the earth towards that black point. You know, you desperately grab for things, railings, roots, anything possible. You're inevitably falling to the center of gravity, which seems to be this hole. I mean, people are shouting, panicking, just like woozing past you, falling into the blackness and disappearing. You try your best. I mean, you try everything. You know, Mike Prayer, like you put Alex on a ledge, on a wall where you think she'll be safe. You know, she tries to pull you up, but another jolt of energy just throws you against the wall. You guys on the stairs, you're climbing along, you know, like stairs on the railings, but it's just not possible to fight gravity. Eventually, all of you fall into the blackness. You wake up suspended in somewhere. You feel like you're in a pool of water, but you can breathe freely. You open your eyes, and the world around you is filled with a blue mist, like fogs out of a nice, sort of pleasant cotton candy-like cloud. But it's blue and purple. It swirls as if there were winds blowing through it. But you can't feel any wind.
Is it cold?
No, it's perfectly pleasant. It's like it's body temperature. You can't feel particularly anything. You think you see a flash of lightning to the left, and you look over to the left, and you notice you're not alone. There's a bunch of people like you, just floating, suspended in this nice mist. They're not panicking or anything. Somebody might be moving a little bit, like looking at their hands, but nothing particular is happening. Just compared to the scene from a second ago, it's calm. It's very quiet. You look around, and you hear a sound like a whale, something moaning. You look into that direction, and in the distance, there seems to be a whale, something big, and it moves. And then you lose focus and consciousness again. You wake up in a bed. It's a soft and cozy bed. You sit up and look around in the room you are in. It's normal, looks like a bit of a hostel room or a hotel room. It's filled with your personal belongings. There's a picture of Anna in your room, Margaret. There's your spy-handed sword hanging on the wall in yours. There's a personal computer in Raphael's room. And I don't know exactly what objects, but there's some familiar objects in Thorsten's room, that things that are actually his and not one of his personalities that he's adopted. You're each in a separate room that feels homely, warm, you know, and safe. There's light coming in from the one window that's in the room. And there's a door that's a clear, you know, exit. You can hear that there's other people in the house. If you look throughout the window, you're in a forest. It's a mixed forest. There's nothing particular about it.
Is it the same kind of forest that would be native to Switzerland?
Sure, it's a common European forest. Just need to find
Is it also like a spring forest?
Oh, it seems like I didn't save one of my tracks, so I need to add it. Sorry, I'm just gonna add my sound.
As well. As long as I don't feel like I can't stand, I would get out of the bed.
No, you can stand and get out of the bed. There's no problem at all. You can look around the room, and as I said, you hear that there's other people in the house looking around. And
I think I would still like examine the room I'm in before I would examine the next room.
all right.
Yeah, I probably do sort of the same. I was just, you know, I try to look at the stars and orientate myself because this feels really weird.
I tried to see if I have Wi-Fi.
Absolut. Alltså allting ni hade på er, alltså exakt samma kläder och exakt samma utrustning. Så jag vet att Mike bär på en bärbar till exempel, och Torsten hade sin skyddsutrustning. Everything is there.
So what am I wearing now?
You're wearing the same clothing that you were wearing at the time of the accident.
Okay.
But there's only one problem, in the accident, during when the gravity shifted, a lot of it tore. None of it is broken now. Everything is mended and in perfect shape. You take off your glove and you cut your hand, and it's perfectly fine. I mean, it must have been the stress. You were just probably imagining things, or were you? Dimitri looks out the window up on the sky. You can't really tell what time of day it is. The light seems. I mean, it must be midday because there's barely any shadows. Actually, there aren't any shadows. There's no. What the fuck? There's no stars either. You're not sure if you think they're clouds, but they're just so smooth. It's like a completely unison gradient fills the entire sky. You can hear birdsong and other signs that it's day, but you can't really see any stars or sun or moon or anything, so you can't really tell.
I
Yeah?
probably look a bit confused. I'm like, I must have hit my head. This makes no sense. I go out the door and into a corridor or whatever it is beyond.
Okay, just give me a second. So, Raphael, you put it on your mobile phone. It's fully charged. There's one thing that sort of bothers you. So you remember one time when you were in a rush, you mistakenly put your phone in the same pocket as your keys, and you gave your screen a big scratch. And it pissed you off to no end because it was just like a stupid mistake that like a normal person would do, not you. But it happened. So that scratch is gone. You instinctively sort of usually play with it with your finger, and once you touch that surface, it's perfectly mended. So the architecture of this house, you'd sort of think it's sort of like maybe a little like oldish, maybe 90s, 80s Scandinavian architecture. So it's wooden floor, creaky. The house seems to be built mostly of wood and yips, whatever that is.
Plaster?
Plaster, yeah, exactly. Besides the outer walls, which are brick. Det finns en wardrobe i rummen där ni har lite sådana kläder som ni skulle bära faktiskt. Det är liksom...
Is the quantum computer still there?
No, that's gone, actually. You don't have the whole toolbox. You only had the clothes you were wearing on you.
Darn, there goes my payday. Because that's what I'm worried about.
If you say so, I'm gonna...
No, that's not what I'm worried about. It
would have been nice if you had $6 million in the bag, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, unless anybody has something to add right now, Volkov is out in the hallway. There's a stair leading down, and there's a woven carpet, and not like Persian carpet, more like rough woven, like we have here in Sweden. It's at IKEA sometime. The corridor is just wide enough for two people to stand shoulder to shoulder, and is long enough to have two sets of doors on the opposite sides of the stairs that lead downwards. It's decorated in bright colors. I mean, there's a little very sparse flower pattern, and most of it is either very light wood, like the railing on the stairs and the windows, or just painted white. There's a little table in the corner with a vase on it with a little flower there. And the windows are closed, but you're sort of assaulted by the smell of the wood from outside. Some window must be open somewhere.
So I want to sort of not like sneak down, but I want to carefully walk down without making any kind of noise.